I'd heard about apartheid. And I thought, these people are on their backs. We have our own problems here with race. Why do we have to get involved in that? But in 1980, I went to South Africa as the president of General Synod, and it was the most traumatic experience in my life. The first time in my life I understood the meaning of the cleansing of the temple. And when I saw Jesus' anger at what people were doing in the name of God by exploiting people. And that's exactly what was being done in South Africa. People were being exploited in the name of God.
That first evening at the parsonage in Soweto was momentous. A constant stream of members from the congregation came to welcome the Americans. Many had never seen a black American. The interpreter kept repeating over and over what the people were saying to us. You're just like us. How wonderful. They're just like us. The conditions were staggering, appalling. But the most wonderful part of meeting with the people was in the evenings after meetings, after if it was a church service or what, our host and hostesses would gather together, select group of people, and we would sit down and dialogue. And that's where we got those very intimate kinds of questions. They would ask, what is life like in America as a black person? And what is the difference between segregation and apartheid? We shared our sorrows, our hopes, our joys. We would sing and we would pray together. And I am glad to say here this afternoon that I am so glad that I have been a part of the South African journey in the Reformed Church in America. And I do believe we have made a difference.
Of course, it was in 1982 that the Belhar Confession was really drafted, the Confession of 1982. And it was in 1985 that they sent the Belhar to us and said, we want your response. We want you to hear what you think about this. And so it was that back at that time, that early stage, the Commission on Theology began then to study and to look at the Belhar Confession, and they said, we affirm this. This is a great statement about racism. And this is a great statement about unity and reconciliation and justice. So it was back then already, as one of the first in the Reformed families, that we began to take seriously what they were saying. But I think all of us want to become more than we are, and that's the call of the gospel. And we cannot deny that racism continues to be one of the issues of our day, and the Belhar addresses that very issue. So we need to look in the mirror and see ourselves. And that's why I believe that the Belhar has such relevance, not just for South Africa and what's happened there, but for here universal. It comes out of a given context, to be sure. But that doesn't mean that it's all about racism. It is about the human situation. And it is so biblical in its orientation. We haven't taken all that seriously, our Lord's mandate that we be one. We struggle. We struggle in our congregations. We need to address the whole issue of what does it mean to be in fellowship and to be one in Jesus Christ? What does it mean to be reconciled? And it begins in the ground floor. This is not just some document to be studied in theological seminaries. This is something to be lived in our congregations and in our personal lives.